I'll go out to Oceania and those small island nations out there. We're in a hell of a fight out there. They're out there grabbing land. Here's what they do. They bring a loan. They get into a loan agreement with a tribal leader, political leader, police leader, military leader, doesn't matter. They can't pay the loan back. When they can't pay the loan back, they take terrain. They go get a warehouse, they get an airfield, they get piers on a port, or they grab the port. They sell equipment. Oh, and by the way, then they bring police training forces with police equipment. Why do they bring police out there? There's no armies out there, very few. Most of what's out there is police. So then they get into their law enforcement and they get into their judicial system. They get into their IT backbone. They get into their electrical grid, and we have a hell of a time getting them back out. So those little islands, beautiful islands of wonderful people, are being stretched thin because we weren't necessarily paying attention to it. So now that encroachment into Oceania puts pressure on New Zealand, puts pressure on Australia, and obviously it puts pressure on the United States. I used to call it like it's the doorstep to the homeland because it sits just below the homeland in the second island chain where Guam is and where America's day starts. I could go on and on about, again, what I'm describing to you, Laura, that is the insidious path that the Chinese have been following, and we have to counter it. We have to counter it with our will. We have to counter it with our messaging. We have to counter with improved posture. We have to counter it in every dimension, the economic dimension, the information dimension, the diplomatic dimension, and the military dimension. We have to do that, and we have to have action, and we have to be focused, and we have to have the energy to do this. Otherwise, this is not going to turn out well this century for the globe, because again, the relationship between China and the United States is going to define this century, much like the relationship between the United States and the Soviet Union defined the last century, or Europe, I would say.